If you've fallen in love with the Mama Made Minis knotted lovey patterns like we have, you'll love today's video. We'll be featuring 5 Mama Made Minis knotted lovey heirloom patterns. And we're sure by the end of this video, you're gonna wanna make more of these adorable treasures. But first, we're gonna be remembering the heirlooms beautifully handmade in our family. We hold these items dear to our hearts, and we'll show you how treasured your heirlooms will be. Yarn types and colors and construction techniques all have changed throughout the years, but crochet stitches still remain the same. These stitches, created by hand, are the glue that tie the past to the future. And this book, the Mama Made Minis Knotted Loveys, offers us a chance to make new heirlooms for our future generation. These aren't just your average crocheted items. These are heirlooms with stories whispered in every stitch. First, let's uncover the stories of the past, and then we'll dream of the future. Imagine the hands that lovingly created this blanket, and all of the lullabies and laughter that it's witnessed. My mom made this blanket for my sister, and some of the stories that she's told us is that she loved laying on her bed and running her fingers along it, the baubles, and imagining it was a fairy garden and playing with her dolls and pretending that she was running through a fairy garden. I know that she still treasures this blanket to this day. And then there's this beautiful bride doll that my grandma made for me when I was young. I remember seeing this doll in a book that she had gotten from her favorite subscription pattern service, and I can't believe she made it for me because it's so intricate, made with this really fine thread, and there's this beautiful pineapple lace on top and a huge ruffle around the bottom, and then on top of that there's more layers of thread skirts, and then more layers of fine, very fine stitching under that that's stuffed with fiber fill. But oh my goodness, what a labor of love that she made just for me because I loved this beautiful bride doll. So this doll has been on display in my bedroom, or right now she lives in my closet. I see her every day and she makes me think of my grandma and how grateful I am that my grandma spent all of this time making her for me. Another heirloom that is absolutely still treasured by my brother to this day is this army bear whose name is General Ted E. Bear, that my grandma made for him when he was really young. He might have been 7, 8, could be older, could be younger, we don't remember for sure anymore, but he slept with this bear every night for a very, very, very long time. And you can see he's very well loved, but he's held up through, he's like totally taken the beat of the test of time, and he's still here to say for it. And I just have to say, these safety eyes, I kind of remember back in the day when these are the only safety eyes you could get, and maybe they're a little creepy, but I've come to know Teddy Bear with the amber eyes, so it's not weird to me anymore. And no video, especially one where we're talking about heirloom crochet, would be complete without my mom and what she's got to say about some of these too.
Yeah, I think the whole concept of heirloom is when you create something and you pass it down to someone else, then those memories that are created with that gift is something you cherish for your whole life. And this stack of blankets here has lots of different memories, and both of us were crocheters of Afghans and garments and accessories before we got into the world of amigurumi and these beautiful plush Loveys. So these are heirlooms from 20 or more years ago. This first blanket right here is a blanket that I crocheted for my youngest daughter, and she has continued to ask, did you finish recording that video yet? Because she's moving to California and she wants to get this packed and not leave it behind because this means a lot to her. And the reason I love this particular blanket is because I used so many different scraps of yarn that I had collected over the years. So this one belongs to my daughter. This is a beautiful Afghan. It's like this big,
it's a star blanket.
Star blanket with beautiful pastel colors, and this belongs to my daughter-in-law. And she had a baby in October, and her baby was actually born on my birthday, so he's my birthday pal. But she's been able to use these treasured, well, this one and this next one are both hers. She's been able to use these with her baby, and so that's really special. And this one was made by a great grandma who's no longer here, and I mean, she just has memories of having these her whole life. So this is a cute little granny square one.
We had one like this. Eleanor, my little sister Eleanor. I don't remember. I don't know what happened to that one, but it looked a lot like this.
We've had some Afghans come and go through the years with various moves and disasters and such, but this last one is also a favorite of mine. This is a design I created. I never wrote down the pattern, but it was very simple, and I always called this the Charlie Brown blanket. It was designed with the brown as the main theme, and again, I love scrappy stuff, so I used a zillion different colors of yarns, and there is a pattern to it in how I constructed it, but it's mostly just got this scrappy look and very basic stitch.
Yeah, it's like the moss stitch or something. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but
it's very simple.
Yeah, single crochet, chain, single crochet.
And so my son is the one who has our newest grandbaby, and this is gonna also be used by his family, something that's been preserved all these years.
I have lots of memories of snuggling under this blanket at our old house by the fireplace. Because it was very warm.
All right. Before we move on to talking about heirlooms of the future, I just wanted to showcase this book. It's actually the catalyst for this entire video because I ran across it at a thrift store a while back, and this was the crochet book that I used to crochet that first Afghan we showed you. It was the cabbage row pattern with my daughter, who loved to have it on her bed, and she imagined it was a flower garden and would play with her dolls on it. She thought it was like a fairy garden, and that pattern's actually in this book. I made lots of patterns out of this book, and so I was just thrilled when I saw this book at the thrift store. It was marked $2. So I immediately picked it up, and this book is still available. I checked. You can find it on Amazon. It's an old Leisure Arts leaflet, 2853, Our Best Baby Afghans. And I think that's the thing that's cool about talking about heirlooms is while yarns do change, colors, textures, and combinations of how you put the stitches together will change, the basic stitches of crochet have remained the same for a long, long time. And so we can create new heirlooms today for our future generations. And let's take a look at those.
The Mama Made Minis Knotted Lovey collection allows you to take inspiration from the past and create adorable loveys that can become heirlooms themselves.
Look at these cuties. These little loveys are made with classic crochet techniques, but with a modern and playful twist. Perfect for little ones to cherish. Don't you just love how soft and plushy these guys are?
Oh my gosh, it's the best. And kids love them just because they are so snuggly.
And this book offers timeless patterns that can be customized with colors, textures, different kinds of embellishments to create something truly unique and special.
Just like the heirlooms we talked about earlier, these loveys will become treasured keepsakes for generations to come. I know that my kids just absolutely love theirs, and my oldest daughter sleeps with hers every single night, so we know that those will be treasured just like the blankets that my siblings have.
I think too, the very cool thing about these loveys is it's like Barbies or American Girl dolls or
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies. They're collectible. Kids, once they get one, they want more. And so they will collect a whole collection of these little guys.
Yeah, no sooner do I have the new one that they wanted finished, and they're asking me for another one. I'm like, Mom, come on, I need a dog now.
Heirlooms are not just about the past. They inspire us to create new memories and traditions. Definitely, by the time you get to the end of this video, you're gonna see the value in creating multiple little guys out of this book.
This was the first lovey I made for my son Weston, who's 4, and he loves the colors of this guy, and he loves that he's a fun little dragon with his head cocked to the side. He looks like he's a curious dragon, and he loves snuggling him every night before he goes to sleep.
And I think it's really cute that he has spots on his tail. I think that's really cute. And then those spots match these really cute wings and his little horns on the top of his head.
The horn nubs are so cute.
And dragons are a very popular little toy for kids right now.
Yep.
So this is definitely a very well-loved knotted lovey. And his tail is different than the dino tail because they have all these bobbles, and this is actually crocheted in.
Yeah, so you don't have to sew all those bobbles on, which is definitely the best part.
Right. So the construction, while it's a little bit similar to the dinosaur, it's actually slightly easier to put together.
Yeah, if you watched our dino video, you know that we have a little bit of a thing about
having to sew all of the spikes on, right?
This unicorn that my mom's holding was the very first plush amigurumi I ever crocheted into completion. And this belongs to my oldest daughter, Willow, and she sleeps with her every single night, and she carries her around everywhere, which at 10 years old, I know she's going to outgrow that very soon, but I love seeing how much she loves this, and her friends love it too, which is the best part. But I love seeing her love it so much, and it makes me feel really happy on the inside, and I know that she's treasures it and will have it forever.
Right, and I love the mane on the thing about these loveys is you can kind of customize how you're doing, and you have this variegated plush yarn here in this mane, and then it's down on the tail, and you can see this one's very well loved because it's getting a little bit dirty.
She's a little dirty. I didn't think about when I made her that cream yarn will show every bit of dust.
Honestly, she's come to my house a million times. So she's been in the car. She travels everywhere.
Yeah, she travels a lot.
So she does pick up that dust from there. Probably if she was at home, she would stay a little bit
Yeah, you
cleaner.
can see that my younger daughter, she's 2.5. This is her unicorn, and she's not quite as obsessive about her unicorn as her sister is. She's a little bit cleaner still.
And this one has a variation in her mane. You use the 2 colors.
Yeah, 3 colors, because she starts at the top there and then has 2 colors on the tail.
Okay, yeah. So again, very adorable. totally different colorways, and that just shows the customization.
I would define heirloom as something that is going to stand the test of time and survive for generations of people to enjoy and love.
And the memories attached to it.
Right. Yes, that too. One of my favorite patterns out of the Mama Made Minis Knotted Lovey book has been this lamb. I feel like it's so easy to make. Its special embellishment is really just these bobble stitches on the head. And
they're really cute.
Yeah, it has like the least amount of sewing of all of the projects I feel like I've made so far. And just the little tail. And this one doesn't even have a tail. But I made this one out of wool blend yarns and acrylic yarns, and it's special in its own right, and it feels like it's a little bit more of like the organic feel versus the soft plushy guy over here.
Right, and they're perfect if you are needing a baby gift and you maybe not know if they're having a boy or a girl. It's a perfect generic baby gift.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I really love this frog that I made, and the frog is, I think, the easiest one because there's no special bobble stitches and there's only the eyeballs that are necessary to sew on. There's no other parts other than the arms. So the construction for this one is just simpler than a lot of the other knotted loveys. But I can imagine, this is Tessa Toad. I can imagine giving Tessa Toad a few extra accessories to make her a little even more stylish.
Yeah,
so
I haven't
I
haven't made one of these yet, but she looks super simple and fun.
I'm making another one out of the Premier Parfait chunky yarn right now, so it's going to be smaller in size, like this little guy.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see how that toad turns out. I think it's going to be just adorable.
The Mama Made Minis Knotted Lovey collection offers a beautiful way to keep these traditions alive. In the comments below, we want to hear about your heirlooms or any stories that you find interesting about the history of crochet. And if you want to know how crocheting these plushies has made us better crocheters, click on the video right here.